I see. Also,
Sorry, I'm muted. The mistaken, the killer took one of his spears and used it as a weapon. Spear gun's in there, right? Mon came over totally come up with a name like that. Lame name like that. Why did the killer use a spear and a knife?
well, yeah.
I just killed him with a knife. Would have been easier too. And with a spear like this would have been necessary. The core thing on it would be easy to use. Hard to do. Chose a spear for a reason. What could that be? I feel a little tired. No matter how much I investigated, I feel like I don't get any closer to the truth. Probably why I feel this way. Feeling this strange feeling that I've never felt before. Nagito was trying to make me suffer even after he's dead. Now's not the time to think about stupid things like that. Haven't searched his cottage yet. It's too early to start complaining. Let's get that place from a bill to find out some kind of clue. Let's go. Dun, 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 dun.
Hajime. What's this?
Ma, you wanna go inside Nagito's room, bro,
What
too?
are you gonna do?
Just listen to Chucky's request. Wants me to unlock the doors to Nagito's cottage because he really doesn't look for the last trial. Begged me to do it while she was licking my black eye. I didn't do that.
Boy, tough crowd.
Didn't do it this week because they made it out of black bean paste. You want time to mess around? Hurry up and lock the dang door.
Fine, fine.
He's gotta do that, right?
Now then.
No, no.
Ba-ba-ba-loose.
Creep.
Bye-bye.
Open the door. You can freely investigate. You can freely investigate now. It's my first time seeing that, but why does the door open with a spell like that?
Perhaps.
Maybe the cottage key is computerized.
Hey.
More important, let's go inside now that the door is open. Yeah, you're right. Nagito was living here. What was he thinking inside this room? What was he feeling as he spent his days in here? Can't even imagine. Wanting to see absolute hope becoming despair so he could act as a stepping stone for the rest of us. No matter how much I think about it, I don't understand him at all. I don't even know if he truly believed that. Especially weird these past few days. What changed him? Maybe the clue that might be hidden somewhere out here as well. You son of a gun. Get out of the tub.
No.
Such a looking treasure box of sparkling pink lights is totally standing out. Standing out, could this be? You can let me know if you find my treasure. A magnificent treasure box covered in sparkling pink lights.
Perhaps.
Treasure box. Jackie, do you know about this?
Yep.
Actually, really cute. I wish you were just reacting. If Minomi stolen treasure box and this is over here, that means the Minomi you're talking about is Nagito. How would Nagito steal this? In order to find out, it might be good to see what's inside.
Hold it.
Is it going to be okay? That's a little dangerous. Might be, but this could be some kind of clue, you know? If it wasn't important, Nagito wouldn't have stolen it from Monomi in the first place. Came back towards the treasure box and cautiously opened the lid. There's a notebook. This is it. Why is there a notebook inside the treasure box? Like it's some kind of something important. Notebook out of the treasure box and began leafing through it. Able to talk to everyone for the first time today. Makia became the blank. Everybody's tired. Other things happened. Happy drawings as they were drawn by children and trees that looked like children's scratch. First time of the day, Monica showed up and things got bad. Becca is the leader, a lot of things happened. Okay, so everyone's tired. What is this, a diary? Monami wrote it. Probably these pictures entirely, pictures and entries totally suit her. Flipping through the pages, day 3, 4, 5, page after page of poorly written entries contained on the notebook. I don't really understand, but looks like there aren't any clues here. I was about to give up. Handsomely stopped on the page titled Day 16. We've been in the funhouse for 3 days, everyone's hungry and edge. Hajime tried to go in the final dead room today, he's probably panicking because no one believes him. Huh?
Hey, hey.
Something happened? Oh, it's nothing.
Stop it!
Now to look at my notebook. Whoa, I'm out of nowhere, Monomi suddenly appeared and took the notebook out of my hand.
I won't forgive you.
I did ask you to look at my treasure box, but we'll look for it. Never said you were allowed to peek inside. I was close. If you had come in later, you would have been able. You would have seen that notebook. You were a little too late. But the notebook is here. Nagito was a thief.
No.
Betrayal. I was betrayed by my beloved student.
Hey, hey.
That notebook is pretty much your diary, right? Your diary? It almost seems that way. That's right. This is my important diary where all my maiden secrets were written.
Hey.
You're a liar. It always show up out of nowhere. Monomi is not a good lie, you know. Lie. No way you wrote that in that notebook. Monomi can even write. Huh? What are you saying? Jeez, I can write letters easily. You can finally write the letter B.
That's wrong.
You can because you have no fingers in your hands. Ah, bullseye. No, because I'm the same way too.
What?
Are you mad? Are you angry that I exposed a weakling like you? Weakling like you? That's what this is about. You're seriously trying to crush me.
What are
Seriously
you
trying to crush me.
saying?
What are you saying? There's no way a big brother would ever crush a little sister. Most likely the time to settle things between us is getting closer every second. I don't know why you're getting so serious. But is what Monica is saying true? Monica said true? Sorry, I'm very tired. Didn't write in the notebook, is that true? Who wrote in it? It's how should I put it? Excuse me. Hold on. She totally ran away again. Same pattern than usual. Looks like there's a waste of time to try to get answers from her. We wanted to ask her about the notebook. Actually, way better that I didn't ask her. Nomi's notebook been added to the shootable section of your handbook. But
Hey, hey.
maybe there's something hidden under the bed. Usual place for hiding things. Hey, like porn. Or we should check it back just in case. No expectations, and without thinking, I peeked under the bed and something here. Plastic bag from the supermarket. Looks like there's something inside. What is this? Gas mask and rubber gloves. The real deal. Did you get these from the super military base? Gas mask and rubber gloves. Rubber gloves. He was hiding these under the bed. Why did Nagito use this stuff for? What did he use this stuff for? Glass mask and gloves have been added to the shoe bowl section of your handbook.
Hajime.
Hajime, was there anything else under the bed? I peeked under the bed once again, started looking around the area when I found the supermarket bag again. Small piece of paper on the floor. Blue aluminum. A round thin piece of aluminum, huh? Remember those seals that go over jars and none of mayonnaise. You know what you're saying? What does that mean? This is just a piece of trash?
Wait.
Who knows? Maybe too soon to decide. It's the blue paper.
Huh?
My cottage doesn't even have a refrigerator. I wonder where he got that from. Nagito probably supplied it himself. Why would he go to the trouble of putting a refrigerator in his room? Does he really enjoy cold drinks? I thought Puchiaki opened the refrigerator out of curiosity. There really isn't much inside. Only thing inside the refrigerator was a brown bottle. Someone who likes cold drinks doesn't look like he's stocked very much. Bottle clearly isn't a drink, right? Some kind of dietary supplement to me. Protein powder, maybe? Took the brown bottle out of the fridge and started reading the label. This isn't made for poisoning someone to death. Hey, this is.
See?
Okay, it's poison. Poison. There's a warning label on the back. Let's examine it in a little more detail. Be careful with the bottle, don't drop it. Stop it. If you worry like that, I'm gonna get nervous. I grabbed the bottle with my trembling hands and began reading the warning label on the back of the bottle. Poison made specifically for killing someone is Manicoma's special poison. This enhanced liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Please clean up with care. The volatility is low. Liquid is very dangerous when vaporized. Gaseous state is heavier than air. It breaks down in minutes. Adaptable to hydrolysis. Possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications. The liquid secure by storing in a cold place, in glass or plastic container, away from sunlight. There's literally a chemical made solely for poisoning someone to death. Refrigerator must be here to keep the poison secure. Where did Nagito get something like this?
Well,
Question could apply to the bomb he used at the hotel too. Apply to the bomb?
see?
Be the reason Nagito was able to obtain such dangerous items. The octagon of the funhouse. Poison must have been brought. He must have brought it with him there too, right?
Perhaps.
Probably hiding it somewhere in his body during the last class trial. Hiding a bomb and poison during the class trial? How dangerous. What would he have done if he accidentally tripped it and broke the bottle? Thinking about it scares me.
Hey,
He also blew up the bomb he took with him to the lobby. About this poison, huh?
see?
The bottle is less than half empty. Was it like this from the beginning? Or did Nagito use it? If so, where did he use it? I wonder if there's still a trap somewhere that hasn't been sprung yet. Another trap?
Perhaps.
Maybe he stopped making some kind of trap using the poison before he died. Actually exists, is be real bad. It could potentially kill everyone on the island. Everyone on the island? What the heck? Nagito, you still trying to make it suffer? Making me suffer, dude. Just trying to make it suffer even after you died? Any sense of any of them whatsoever?
Well,
Say a show up in the mirror there reflects a person's heart. Definitely don't know much about Nagito, just by looking at this, so what should we do? It'd be very difficult to look through all these piles. Maybe we should ignore it though.
Yep.
Maybe to you then, Hajime. Wait, what? But if the boy goes through one of the boy's things, you know there might be private stuff there. Might be true, but I'll leave the shelf to you. Just waited to do this without realizing it. Walk towards the shelf. One by one, started removing the various books and items and examining each one. When I examined them carefully, there were still a bunch of random books and items. No way there were any clues here. Huh? Wow, wasn't the only one I received from Monokuma. This is another one, that seal. School badge of Hope Peace Academy. Does this have information about the stolen memories? Fortunately, I couldn't find any clues about that. Does this contain our information? Doesn't contain our information, just the Hajime's information. It won't contain information about me, but is that really true? When I look at this, it should be obvious, right? But I was from the reserve department and had no talent whatsoever. Maybe another one of his lies too. Open the file and held it in my hand to confirm that. I still didn't realize something was strange. If this really has only my information, then why? This file is so thick. Since I opened it, it was clear to me that I thought Nagito had lied to me. From information, there was this information about the others, Kazuchi, Furihiko, Akane, and Sonia. Everyone who died had pages of information about them too. The file contained information on all 16 of us. Only my information in my butt. I can't believe he made such a strange lie. You know something might be a lie too, right? During the page contained my information and began reading throughout the content. Profile contained basic information such as my date of birth, my height, my weight, and so forth. One thing that specifically caught my eye was reserve course student. Denying and confirmed that it truly was a reserve course student from the reserve department. Why is it the only thing that isn't a lie? Why am I the only one here from the reserve department? Why am I the only one here with all the other ultimates?
hey.
Something happened? Well, I've just found this strange file. And the special prize Nagito received when he cleared the final dead room. As I recall, his student profile should be in there. Not just my profile. Profiles of everyone on the islands are in there too. Nagito was lying.
Huh?
When you say everyone, do you mean everyone? Basic information, but there should be profiles for all 16 of us. Can I look at the file? I can lean against me and peered in the file.
You're right. My profile is really in here. But unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any details.
Details?
Details about our missing memories. Information about the time we spent at Hope's Peak Academy. If it's not written in there, these profiles might have been written before we entered the academy.
Then it's impossible to obtain new clues from them.
Yeah, seems like it.
Oh, hold on.
Huh?
What happened? I just noticed right now, but
The file. His name isn't in there, right? There's supposed to be 16 names worth of profiles, but his name is the only one missing, right?
Who are you talking about?
Byakuya. I'm talking about Byakuya Togami. Look carefully. No matter where I look, I don't see his name anywhere.
No way!
what if the name isn't written in the file? Perhaps based on what on that, you think he might be the traitor? Not just that, because his name isn't written in here. The only reason I think he's suspicious. He participated in the killing school life at Hopi's Academy, right? Someone like him to be in a similar situation on this island. No matter what, it's definitely suspicious. Paid me to say this, bud. Thinking about the missing name about the killing school life.
Bad.
Totally wrong, there's a completely different reason. A different reason?
You're getting all
Should I put
riled
this? You guys
up.
have been getting all worked up about Byakuya for no reason. Which means the great mystery that you think surrounds that Byakuya doesn't exist. Bashing it on one person's cheap speculation. What do you mean?
What the heck?
To ask me to that, you know the answer to this by looking through the profiles, right? I'll turn back to the file. One by one, started flipping through the pages and confirming the names. Came across the pages there was filled with question marks. Every section was filled with question marks. It could barely be considered a student profile. On that page, I was only able to confirm one thing: ultimate imposter. The Miyaki's true identity. True identity? It was a fake that was pretending to be the ultimate affluent progeny, Byakuya Togami. A fake?
Hey,
After his name is filled with question marks and isn't a mistake or oversight. Surprisingly enough, there's the correct information regarding him. Ultimate imposter has no name, no permanent address, or even his age and gender is unknown. It doesn't exist. If it doesn't exist, he was able to exist as anybody. His talent poo-hoo, though I'm not jealous of that at all. Person wasn't really Byakuya Togami.
Perhaps.
Is that why he was so much fatter compared to when he was involved in the killing school life?
so
Because he doesn't fit his
cool.
body to fool others at all. Real imposters are skilled like that. Mine was the entire time,
Still.
but he couldn't help it. How can he help it? That was his talent, huh? Having talent means you're also bound to that talent. The moment you obtain that talent, your way of life has already been chosen for you. You can't do anything except rely on the talent, regardless of whether you want to life or not. In that sense, compared to the other ultimates, your life may just be a little bit more liberating. What the heck?
Anyway,
Anyway, happy that you guys fell for a scam that I had nothing to do with.
that's right.
Revelation about Byakuya is definitely the truth. Then, what were you trying to say to me the entire time? At the time? I thought the others about my past, they may be skeptical. Nature is partly I suspect that my skeptical nature is partly to blame. Distrusting rumors and being distrusted in return. I should go to bed. For a long time in my life, I've been a living heck. Based on the context, if I had to guess,
No,
maybe
no.
he was complaining that he was cursed to wander the earth as nothing more than a fraud. If I had your school memories, you never would have been betrayed in the first place. It'd be different if you were meeting him for the first time. If you guys went to Hopi's Academy, you should have known about the ultimate imposter already. In the end, it all leads back to the memory loss.
Phew.
Future Foundation sure is awful. There's no way you should ignore Monami or the traitor. Who's the traitor? Just from looking at the 16 profiles, so we'll know who it is from the Future Foundation. Is there really someone like that?
Of course.
Obviously, you wouldn't know I made the files, so you guys couldn't find out.
Could it be?
And just as I thought, you're the one who did it.
Hey,
The fact that there are 16 profiles in there is wrong. There's a spy sent from the Future Foundation, not a student from Hopi's Academy. You made a fake profile from the traitor, included it in here.
correct.
It wouldn't be fun if you figured out who the traitor was so easily, right?
Hey.
You can use this file to figure out who the traitor is. That was true for Nagito too, right? Probably. Hopi's Academy file up and added the true bull section of your handbook. Dripping with despair, isn't it? You wasted your precious time on something that isn't the clue.
Are you sure about
Not a wise
this?
decision? Time's up, you know. Time's up, wait.
Bye.
Leave me for a moment. The chime just now.
What is most important for living things?
We have another half hour to
Still,
go, pretty much,
personally,
until I slash
I
marker.
think
I'll go another half hour. I'm not gonna read anymore, at least.
I mean, Your bank account may go up and down, but time will inevitably run out, right? That's why we gotta cherish time. There is nothing more wasteful than wasting time. So, time's up. We will begin the last class trial, so please gather at Monokuma Rock. I'll see you soon.
The last class trial? Said that right? You said the last class trial?
Yep.
I heard it too. He really did say it was the last class trial. What do you think? Should we believe him? Monokuma seemed anxious about the Monokuma timer earlier, right? 2 more days? He said something about the killing school trip ending, right? Based on the time limit, that might definitely be the last one.
But still.
Can't imagine that's the real end. Huh? I think Monokuma's real plan might be just beyond that. His real plan, Monokuma's still planning to make us do something. What could it be? Maybe after putting us through all this, he's planning to kill the remaining survivors all at once.
Well?
Not a good idea to think about it too much, I think. I think we should focus on the class trials that's waiting for us. You're right. Class trial for Nagito's murder. Pretty screwed. I haven't clicked in my thoughts because they were so focused on the file. Can't even see who killed Nagito.
Still.
Well, you don't have to worry too much. Huh?
Right?
Not fighting this alone, you know. Absolutely right. We're not alone. Even if it's a mystery that can't be solved alone, as long as everyone cooperates and works together, we do that, things will turn out fine. I'm gonna get a refill of water real quick. This is like half a minute.
Damn right. Huh?
Is this it? Shouldn't there be more people?
Damn it.
Making me depressed. Making me depressed. It's going to happen again. Wolf conflict where we must dead our friends. Once we're through this, we can go back.
That's right.
Monokuma dude said so, didn't he? Said this is the last class trial.
Damn it.
Every step of the way, there's no way I can't believe that so easily.
Of course not.
Can't even believe it, the guys making us do all this is the one saying it,
You know, right?
Well, I'll definitely survive. We can really go home after we deal with the class
That's
trial.
right.
Definitely find out who the killer is no matter what. Even to pull out all the stops. What the flip? Why are you here? You haven't realized it yet? Feeling wanting to leave the island, things like that. That's Monokuma's trap, you know?
Huh?
What do you think? No way Monokuma will end things here. Planning something far worse. What drinks this?
Pick you up.
The rabbit should just shut up. You mustn't run away from despair. Finally realized I'm losing my powers. Realize the curse in your powerlessness, where your fate accomplishes nothing. Possibility may be small. As long as there is a possibility, you must face it. In order to become someone who can be proud of yourself. I will fight.
Huh?
What's your deal? I don't really know, but she seems different from before. Maybe she read a self-help book.
Wait.
But her eyes look so determined.
You.
Tell me, what can you tell about looking at those button eyes? Make sure you turn off Minamaru and be annoying if you started talking during the trial. All fine.
But still.
I understand what Minomi was saying, I think. Get going to the class trial.
Yep.
Need to fight as much as we can. Find out what happened with the hopeless truth. What is at the end? Rar. Whatever with mine. I wanna get my rock. What's our pet doing? It did change. Bathroom smells? Into the rock.
Yeah.
Elevator ride. This will be the last time before this too, right?
Well,
Hope so. Let's worry about other things after we're finished.
you were right.
More importantly, we must focus on the class trial before us.
Damn it.
To the manage to kill someone like Nagito, there's no way it's going to go smoothly. I can't believe one of us was able to do that. Problematic in many ways, but he was also a valuable asset during the trials. Yeah, you're right. During the funhouse reveal, we were completely dependent on him. Even if he's gone, the one who survived will need to stand up and fight. We must fight. And then the door slowly opened. My throat is killing me, man. We've been reading like 6 hours a day for the last 3 out of the 7 days a week. Is it the light of hope? Or light of despair?
Well now.
No, the chatterbox Nagito was gone. There was only 6 of you left.
Shut the hell up!
Let's flip and start already.
Hey!
This is it, right? This is really the last class trial?
Yep.
Sure is. So you gotta show some enthusiasm and make sure you give it all.
All
Sure.
right!
Didn't I tell you? We said this is the end?
Now then.
The trial started.
Viva killing!
Last class trial. Turns about to rise. Goes the lucky student. First met him, I thought he was a nice guy. Came across as very sociable. His true nature held such a demented thought process that he was nothing like that. His outward appearance. He believed in hope more than anything else. He was yearning for a powerful hope that can overcome any despair. Said he would help despair just to prove that hope would never lose to despair. Become a stepping stone for hope. His way of thinking was completely screwed up. Also time to save those two. So when Lincoln was killed, that was the end of him. My bad. But is your page completely read yet? No way we can end this without knowing. No, 'cause the second page is one person on it. Still alive. Consumed by despair. Or two. Not just one. Soon it'll be 0. You have to find out. Person who finished off Nagito. Killer who murdered Nagito. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to reach the truth. Monica says this is really the last class trial, and there's a lot more reason we need to do this. And so, life-threatening trial building with hope and despair is the last one. Had to be gone. Sure. Let's take full class trial.
Let's begin.
We'll go to the next, what was it? I want to do the quarter past? Yeah. 15 more minutes.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done
And then
it.
we'll finish this class trial tomorrow. And maybe just start the intro to chapter 6. And then we'll finish it Monday.
If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh my, Monami? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you? You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon? Because you're a rabbit? Chesto! One more time! Jeez! How about this one? This will be my final blow! It's useless.
Please stop! I feel bad for Monomi.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monami. The class trial has started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who was attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait. Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Don't say something so stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito. Is here, right? The same person? Or...
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
No, that's wrong. But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything. If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
I'm prepared.
Excuse you? My brother in Christ, it's been a minute.
Ah, I just realized.
Track?
Stupid Hajime! You got caught in that trap!
Stupid.
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you'd obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap! They wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down! But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention, this is how it went. First, the killer tortured Nagi and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they...
Allow me to cut through
It worked.
those words.
I think there wasn't all the info for it, but thank you.
No, there's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
What did you say?
Who cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors. We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
Are you in elementary school or something?
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds, which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so he wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer?
If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
We can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
Yeah, and right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back.
Which means, it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Some kind of setup? Like what?
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect. Alrighty then, let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is!
Reason for the fire. Oh, that's right. We need to clear up that first. The gas lighter? Why even have the fire? Is that what you're talking about?
The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the
Sorry, that's not how you work that.
Crap!
The direct cause of the oil lighter found at the killer used some kind. He lit the curtain on fire. Some kind of setup? Did they use the oil?
They probably just threw the lighter.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Or perhaps opening the door.
Hey, Sonia. Slowly, you're moving up to S tier. The only one who's ever right about anything anymore.
I also agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure. A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan!
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
A domino effect? You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second. And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
I see!
I see.
You're talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
The inside of the warehouse felt even darker because of our eyes were so used to the bright sunlight. The darkness allowed him to blare throughout the warehouse at full volume. That's just me. Really loud, and Nagito liked listening to the depressing crap. So it started.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
Open it slowly. No problem. We'll be fine. Everyone's warning slowly open the door to the warehouse. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Not opening. This trap should just stop it, okay? I need a little bit more force. Happen to open it slowly. Upon ignore the protest and with a mighty kick, the door flew open. Bam.
Ah, so the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
There's an entrance to the warehouse. I see the problem Chuck is talking about is how could they have left?
I see! If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave.
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
You don't mean...
That's true. It's murder.
Hajime? What do you mean?
First of the domino effect inside the warehouse. One person who would have done that.
This is my answer. What if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
Like you said, it's impossible for you to think about it, but I think I'm overlooking something.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Crap! To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs.
No, that's wrong! Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
Prove that he burnt rope and that his arm is the trap. So let's leave.
I see!
Yeah, we're gonna be saving the next
Take a close look
here.
at his right sleeve.
We'll go finish going over this part.
Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
That's definitely wrong.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know.
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand.
Hajime, you tricked me. Give me back that Benjamin!
I wanted to try to do a chargeback, but now she wants the money back. What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
Stab yourself with your right hand using only your right hand. An answer for this? I'll be a hangman's gambit. Thank you.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
He's lucky.
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
It's wrong?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall,
Could he stab his hand?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
I agree with that.
I agree with that. Wait, once the knife's over with from
Life-size
the right
Monokuma
hand, I'm
He
saving
must
it.
have used that to prop the knife.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it. If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see. So that's the trick.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll who's...
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
so what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right? If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right
His hand was yanked around the cable.
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Say it one more time. I need you recorded.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out!
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear.
We can yank it.
It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stab into your right hand, while your left hand is tied up.
So you're saying it's impossible?
Okay, this dude's about to save it. I'm getting out of here. We'll finish this case tomorrow. Get me out of here, man.